All right, this shit probably about to be edited out, but ooh, um, yeah. So, what we about to talk about today is people pleasing and why I said yes and why I continue to sometimes say yes when I really mean no, and how that has impacted and shaped who I am and the journey of losing myself by saying yes so much. How I found my voice and how things like that have changed and led to where I am now in life, where I have more confidence to speak on these things. And that's my only goal with this channel is to talk about things, use examples from my own life. Maybe somebody relates, maybe somebody doesn't, but at the end of the day, just getting that out there to be therapeutic to my own continued growth and to continue to help myself heal. So, what we're going to talk about today is I think I can say the business name since I'm no longer employed there, but just for YouTube, just to be safe. When I used to work at a large phone carrier, just the pink one. So that's what we're going to talk about today and how that work environment, kind of beat me down and made me lose, reshape, and then lose my identity again. And when I ended up separating myself from that organization, um, it left, looking back on it, there was a path of almost unrecognizable, I dare to say the word destruction in there. Like looking back, I'm like, who is this person? Why did he do that? And who's this person that came out of it, you know? So at this large phone carrier, um, we're gonna talk about specifically my last couple years there. When after I had gotten promoted, when I had gotten promoted to a store manager at this phone carrier, I was the youngest store manager I know for sure in the city, in the state, and the region. Hesitate to say company because but I was the youngest store manager when I was put into this position. If I recall, I just turned 21 or was about to turn 21. So I was a kid, I was a baby, right? And they had me in charge of other kids. So I was a baby trying to lead babies. And I can only say this now in hindsight, right? So the environment of the time was me being placed into this position and recognized for my hard work, of course, because prior to multiple months of me being the number one rep, this, that, and the third, revenue, all of that, to build up my portfolio to earn this position. And I needed to continue that going into this new role. At first I fumbled like real bad. So they put me at a relatively slow location, didn't know how to manage traffic, didn't know how to optimize this, that, and the third. I had a challenge shifting from making my own individual revenue, worrying about my numbers myself, to okay, now I have a team of 4 or 5 people. Most were my age or younger, and one was older, so that was a challenge in and of itself. But that mental shift of how do I make these people respect me, but also how do I perform? And how do I translate that individual performance that was at a high level to a store performance at a high level? My answer at the time was just overwork myself. Like if my reps, my employees were struggling somewhere, I jump in and I do it myself. If they weren't understanding the coaching or a new product or a new this or a new that, I'm with them side by side. I'm doing the heavy lifting to give them that room to breathe and learn and understand. So it ended up turning into me overworking myself just to continue to prove myself. And this went on for years and years and years. Went from that slower location eventually to the end of my career with this phone carrier. I was running the highest traffic retail store here in my city. So that is where I ended my tenure, and that was a different beast, right? I worked my way up to the highest traffic, the highest revenue location, the most reps, had an assistant manager, all of that. So by the time I got there, I thought I could handle it, right? But what that turned into is I had developed a style of coaching where I was so involved sometimes, even overly involved. And I don't regret being this kind of leader now, because now in the industries I've transitioned to, it works better. But in retail, I ended up being a leader that was always available, always there. And when I was in that situation at the time, I was, making sure my reps are good. I'm helping them get, whatever commission checks they need to hit their goals. And that's giving me, a sense of fulfillment, which I continue that now. The part that, was to my own detriment is that even translated to when I'm not there, when I'm off the clock, when I'm supposed to be on PTO, when I'm on vacation. I'm getting calls and calls. How do you do this? How do you do that? This is my situation. Can you pitch this to this customer? Can you help me close this sale? Can you do this? Can you do that? And it was like constant. My usual schedule was I would open, and I would hope to be out of there by like 4:00, right? In reality, I'm not leaving till 6, 7, 8. I think we closed at 8 or 9. But even after I leave for the day, it's like I just had calls and calls and calls. So that turned into me virtually having no time off, no mental reset, no breathing room, right? It reflected in our performance though. Like we were constantly getting, #1 store for I think a run of like 6-7 months, something like that. Highest revenue, all these accolades. My reps are getting individual accolades for themselves. They're getting crazy commission checks. Like it's, everyone in the moment is like cool. What was happening in the background was, I guess I was pushing myself so much and working so hard because I was afraid to, lose that position. Or if I wasn't #1, would they regret, promoting me at my age? Or would they regret giving me this location? Would they have second thoughts about putting me at the highest traffic location, if I didn't continue to say yes and answer these phone calls, didn't continue to say yes and like I know I'm off, and I know I'm at home chilling, but I'll be down there in 20 minutes to help y'all out. If someone needed to call off and they couldn't find coverage, I'm saying yes. I'm allowing them to do what they need to do, and then I'm sacrificing what I need to do. So it was a fear of not living up to whatever imaginary expectation, maybe not imagine, whatever projected expectation from like my district manager, from the other managers that I was putting on myself. I thought they had this certain expectation of me, and if I didn't meet it, oh, you shouldn't have promoted him, or he's too young, or you need to put him at a different store, or um so that fear of failure transitioned to a higher level of a fear of disappointment. And what that cost me was my my mental health, like especially the last 1 or 2 years running that busy location. It was work, work, work. There wasn't any me, and I fell into a pattern of there was a year like 2019, right before COVID. I think I can say, I don't know, coronavirus, whatever, shut down the world, where my pattern for coping and, easing my mind was I would go out from Wednesday night through Saturday night. And it was just, drinking and drinking. Like Wednesday night was, I think it was college night or something at a place called Whiskey. I'm not gonna drop my note. I'm not important enough at Whiskey, right, for me to withhold my location. And then Thursday night, of course, was ladies' night. Why would I not at that time? Why would I not be out there on ladies' night? And then Friday was just Friday, and then Saturday was just Saturday. So like Wednesday, Thursday, I'm for sure in my city here. Friday and Saturday for sure, we went up to Denver. Friday was usually either or, but I just every single week, as soon as Wednesday hit, out drinking. Come in, wake up, work, probably hungover, get off work, nap for an hour, go out, do the same thing for Thursday night, ladies' night, rinse and repeat. It was retail, we worked weekends, so even on like Saturdays, because I'm coming in hungover from Friday, and just got into this habit of work, and then, damn, I can't rest and relax. People are calling me, I'm always thinking about work. Let me drink to make the noise stop, So that's what it ended up costing me, mentally. I know at that time I was also, in a couple of relationships, and then I also had, someone around that time I was very intent on taking seriously, whether I ended up in a relationship with her or not. But put all these people in this same bucket of how, this lack of work-life balance ended up impacting that, because, I already didn't have time for myself. How am I going to have time to put towards another person? But what I did try to do is I made sure I had time to go party. I made sure I had time to go get drunk. I made sure I had time to go be out every night. So, but I also tried to have it all, because if I can't, this kind of goes back to the work thing of, if I can't do this, then I'm a failure. I'm disappointing somebody. In this context, I would just be disappointing myself. Like, oh, I can't be a hard worker. I can't make all the money. I can't go party. I can't also have a companion or a relationship with me all the time while doing all these things at maximum capacity, right? So that's just what I thought. And of course, that's not realistic. That's not practical. Nobody can do that. I don't care who you are. You can probably fake it for a little bit, but one of those things is lacking, or one of those things will lack. One of those things will crumble, or you will crumble. And that's where the point got to. My relationship near the end, that that suffered greatly. I made some horrible choices in that last relationship. That would have been like mid to late 2021 when I finally decided to leave this phone carrier. Horrible decisions there. My alcohol situation, my drinking ended up getting the better of me as well. 2019, 2020, I got a DUI because of my drinking habits. So during this whole 2 years, I had a breathalyzer in my car. Things like that, like what I should have been focusing on or things that had lasting impact were the things I was letting fail or impact me the most. While I'm continuing to, try to keep up this high performing thing at work, all of this stuff, but that ended up catching up to me too. The last couple months, I ended up being moved from that high performing location back to the first store, the slower one that I ended up managing when I first got promoted. So it ended up just coming full circle that all of these poor choices and poor habits and poor patterns just ended up weaving themselves into each little aspect of my life that I thought I could maintain by saying yes to people, saying yes to performance, and saying yes all the time to my wants and my urges and my immediate gratification. That was something I was saying yes to, as opposed to what's best for me, I wasn't saying yes to. So that's just what all of that ended up costing me. And in hindsight, and even talking about this stuff, in the last, I'd say year and a half, there's been an exhaustion. I've run out of energy for things, for people, for processes outside of myself. I had hit a point where, the saying, you can't pour into others if your cup is empty. And my cup got empty. Especially in this most recent relationship that I'm transitioning out of, my cup was empty. And I didn't really know what else to do in that situation. So, only thing I could do was start saying yes to me, start focusing on myself, to start making sure I was the person being pleased. And that this is not in a selfish way. It's a putting myself first way. Because they're right. You can't pour into anybody. You can't pour into anything. You can't pour outside your cup if there's nothing in your cup. And hopefully this message finds someone that was maybe my age, early 20s, late teens, mid 20s, anybody that's just saying yes to everybody but themselves. And take the time to sit in a mirror and look at how those yeses are taking away from you and how much they're wearing on you. Just take the time to reflect. And how much of that energy can you put back into yourself? And where would you be? Mm-hmm.